Hello, welcome to Tim's Maniac Sports, and I hope everybody had a great weekend. Um, it's good to be here, good to be back. Uh, I've heard about a couple players improving. They showed improvement, at least according to Dan Campbell, in the mini camp that we just got over the mandatory mini camp. Training camp. One of them was one that I was hoping that he would finally come into his own, and I'm not saying he has yet. Um, is Derek Barnes? Derek Barnes has been one of those bubble players, has not showed up fully in the in has not shown up. He fell short of what we thought his abilities were able to do in his first couple of years. So, but I guess he really did some things to impress um, Dan Campbell during training camp. So hopefully he's finally coming into his own. More to say. Another thing was Iffy. Iffy to me has had a career of being injured a lot. Unfortunately, there's been, and also he's been moved, you know, more or less to center, more or less corner. It's been rough, as far as for a lot of injuries that we have seen with Iffy. We all know from Detroit Lions on Proud Iffy is Val's favorite player, which is good. She likes that name. She has a jersey. But yeah, uh, I would like to see Iffy really stay healthy and shine this year too. Thank you for joining us on Tim's Maniac Sports. Uh, your home where the maniac is brought out, where we ask every person, every fan, what brings out the maniac in you, and of course, what I have told people before, what I mean about that is what is it that really excites you about football, sports in general? What is it that is your life's blood that just gets your blood boiling in good ways and bad ways too? I mean, hey, there's there's good things that can go ahead, like your team getting that touchdown, your team coming back from a very bad deficit, or also your team coming and actually just winning off. Those are things that could bring out, per se, the maniac in you. Uh, so that's one of the things. But what's going on? Uh, Thank you guys for stopping, checking in. I appreciate any comments, questions, or concerns. Uh, all are welcome on here. Uh, yeah, and you know what? And I know I have spoke and said this before. I think the Lions would have a chance of being the NFC champions, whether or not Aaron Rodgers uh, was still in Green Bay or not. Because I think we're a better team than Green Bay. I think we have. No, last year you can say we kind of owned Green Bay. It's and Aaron Rodgers was there, yeah, in the last year. So you know, I just think that we are that better team uh, than what Green Bay is. So hey, good luck in good luck with the Jets. Good luck with Green Bay. He's playing nice. Or Jets. Good luck with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is playing nice right now, but who knows? Hey Tristan, how's it going? How was your weekend? Um, I think Dan Campbell I think Dan Campbell went ahead and was talking a little bit about Derek Burns. Uh, uh, I didn't really see much on him other than that he said that he thought that he was improving. Uh, hey, hopefully he is. I know that was Jim's favorite player. Uh, all right. All right, your weekend was good. That's really good to hear. Uh, it went quick though. I know my weekend went quick. It rained over here Saturday, Sunday, so it was raining all day Saturday. So, but other than that, it was a pretty good weekend. Uh, and would be better if the NFL was playing right now. I heard a couple of the Tigers games got canceled because of what the weather conditions or the air quality conditions because of um, all the wildfires going on in Canada and stuff. So yeah, okay, it sure did. It rained here all day on Sunday. Yeah, it was wet day in Michigan, that's for sure. Uh, but so tell me, how pumped are you for the Lions? Do you How pumped do you think this training camp make you? At least, I mean, I know it's over now, but I I heard I heard Gibbs did pretty damn good in training camp. Yeah, yeah, I heard Gibbs did pretty good in training camp. Uh, Super happy, yeah. Man, I don't know, I just love football so much. I just wish. I mean, I know that's crazy. But I wish they could add 5 more games a year to football. 5 more games to the season, man. That would be awesome. But I know a lot of people say that it's crazy and it's too long of a season. But when it's something you love, is it ever too long? That's one thing. Yeah. Now, yeah, it would be hard, definitely a lot harder on the players if you had what was it, 17 now, so that would be like you added 5 more games. You added 5 more games. That'd be 23, no, 22 game season. Oh my gosh, that would be. But that would be just it. That would be great. Uh, yeah, it would. Yep, it would be longer for sure. But you know what? It would be nice because I'll tell you, just about. I mean, of course, we don't play the sport. We definitely don't. We definitely don't play the sport, and the hitting that you get on the bodies and stuff like that, the collision, yeah, that takes your toll. But that adding those games, and of course, then you got all the stuff where you gotta get approval from the Players Association and all that other stuff. I know the networks would like it because that's more television revenues for them. NFL would also like it, more television revenues for them too, of course. So, and you could actually, yeah, if you had added these more games, I think you would need to add more players to the roster as far as so where you could get, because some players would need, players would need rest too. Would you add more? Would you add another bye during the season if you had that? Uh, because I mean, it's hard enough to get one buy-in for every team, but would you have another one so that the whole team could go ahead and get a rest, which would go ahead and extend it another week too. So I don't know, but shoot, I good thing I don't need to answer all those questions. But I'm just saying, add 5 more games. I mean, hey, I got some flack when they just said go ahead and bring it to a 20-game regular season. I mean, hey, 20 games, nice even number. 22 games, couple more games, but hey, all right. Okay. Yeah, if they did, they should allow an extras on team or two also make the playoff. Actually, yeah, but I would, yeah, definitely. You should have, in a 32 game or 32 team league. I think you should have at least half your teams be able to make the playoffs. That's one thing I totally agree with you. I have said that myself. I would like to see at least 2 more teams be able to qualify for the playoffs every year. It's just, of course, then you would need to make that longer too. So, but I just think it would be great because I mean, it wasn't, and that's not only because the Lions went ahead and almost made the playoffs or anything like that. I think that, yeah, I just think that the league needs more, 7 playoff spots. It's basically 14 playoff spots right now, um, per each, 7 per each conference, 14 total. But I think if you added 2 more playoff spots, that would be great. Uh, you could once again give the first two top 2 teams by work things out. But yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Yeah, definitely 100% back you on that idea. Two more spots, and that would be per conference. 2 more in the NFC, 2 more in the AFC. Uh, would really like to see that. Um, okay, and so I also heard that CJ Gardner, he's actually becoming the leader of the cornerbacks. Coming to he's fitting right in. CJ Gardner Johnson, he's fitting right into the scheme of things, and he's organizing his fellow teammates to um, go ahead and be that better defense. Encouraging them to be that. By the way, thank you guys for stopping in to Tim's Maniac Sports. Appreciate your comments and all your help out with the show. Um, I didn't post a link in the show today. I just really didn't get ready soon enough. That's why. Uh, but actually, I could even do that now. No, I can't do that right now. Did I need to leave it? I need to leave the studio in order to do it. Oh, all right. I won't have to leave the studios. All right. So yeah, I did put the link in the comments. But yeah, I'm just thinking that the Lions are for real. Actually, now you can. I put the link in. Yeah, you can join. Yeah, you can join if you want. Just hit on that link. Yeah, I did put it in. So yeah, I hit on the wrong thing and I thought, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Thank you for showing up. It's going good. I'm doing all right. How are you? The New Breed Sports 313. All right. Yeah, welcome to the chat. We appreciate it. Appreciate all the help. So what did you think about the training camp? And should the Lions go for other free agents or anything like that too? Glad to see you're doing all right. Okay, so yeah, thank you everybody for watching Tim's Maynard Sports. One of the things we were talking about is that I heard that Dan Campbell mentioned two of the players that are currently on the, well, of course, he also mentioned St. Brown did good in training camp, but St. Brown's been doing good all the time. So, I mean, that's a given on how good Amon-Ra St. Brown is. But yeah, Derek Barnes looked good. In From what I heard in training camp, and also Iffy looked good too. So that's good. And those, Iffy has had his problems with being healthy. But if they can go after Hopkins and Cook, they should go for it. All right. That's fair. Now, do you think that? What do you think that? I mean, having veterans like Dalvin Cook, definitely great, great running back, and of course Hopkins, the great receiver that he is. Yeah, both of those are great talents. But do you think they're going to add that much to our already? Those are already strong positions that we have filled in the and we got a strong running game. I know the jury is still kind of on Gibbs because we haven't seen him play in the NFL. Uh, or would those funds be better allocated elsewhere? Uh, Delvin Cook and Hopkins. I mean Hopkins. Our wide receivers core is pretty strong, especially when JMO comes back after those 6 games. Okay, I think they can add veteran leadership like Adrian Peterson did when he was here. That's true. That's true. Definitely. You know, and they also add a yeah the veteran leadership. Uh, Also, both of them add a winning mentality to the mix. Also, um, especially like Delvin Cook going ahead and Hopkins. They both been outstanding at what they do. Uh, but now, do you think that? I mean, Hopkins, there's been that. There's been also the getting along with people too. With management, and that's yeah. And I also think the Lions at these positions has a lot of injuries in the past few seasons. You know what? I cannot argue that point at all because there's been a lot of injuries mm, to those last two. To the running backs, to the receivers, for sure. I mean, there's times when it looked like where we were thinking about getting where we brought people off from the practice squad, but yeah, that's definitely true. There's been a lot of injuries. Even St. Brown was injured last year. Uh, you know, just about every receiver for a while there, you know, was injured last year too. Chark, when we had him, he was injured for a lot of the season. Um, and then, of course, you had, but I think that's one of the reasons DeAndre Swift is not with us anymore, is because of him being so injury prone. Because I mean, he was a good running back when he was here, but he just really could not stay healthy. You know, so that's one of the reasons why they got Jamar Gibbs. You know, and his elusiveness, his but I mean he's undersized too, so who knows? If he could get injured. But yeah, thank you. Definitely, these uh, definitely brought up a great point. Okay, I like the pick up of a uh, Brown at running back. I think he's a good player. I agree. I definitely agree. I think he's a good player. Good pickup for sure. Uh, so, do you think the linebacker core is going to be much better this year? As far as in stopping the run and also in getting after the pass, do you think that? I mean, how much better do you think our defense is going to be this year compared to how it was last year? And of course, if you do want to hop on the show, I did post the link in the chat. So you are anybody who wants to hop on the show is more than welcome to hop on the show. That's why I post the link in the chat. Uh, and of course, Tristan, if you did want to hop on the show too, you're more than welcome. Uh, yeah, but yeah, thank you for coming to Tim's Man at Sports. I'm sorry things ain't a little bit more organized as I like them to be. But yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, yeah, get him, especially if for now, are we going to be able to afford the price for him, price for Dalvin Cook? Are we going to be those resources? Are we going to be able to afford? Okay. I think Jack Campbell, the linebacker core is going to get better, but the defense should be better if Tracy Walker can stay healthy. For sure. Yeah. hmm And that's all a key thing. Is people staying healthy because I'll tell you what, it looked like last year for a while, and even the year before, the Lions have been bombarded with injuries. Every team gets injuries. That's a given. This being a contact sport, a collision sport, you're going to get injuries. But the amount of injuries that the Lions seem to have suffered last couple seasons were unreal. I mean, it was just, so many people were injured at the same time. A lot of our salary was a lot of our salary was spent on the sidelines due to people being injured. Not fault of their own. It's just, it's just the way it is, unfortunately, that you get so many injuries in a sport like this. And when it happens to one team, it's, it just gets bad. But the Lions found ways of working around it, of getting the people in. Of course, you're it's never going to be as good as when you have your stars, but so excuse me. Sometimes you find diamonds in the rough, but when people get injured, then another guy will shine and pick up the spots, fill in that space. Good, but I know last year we had it where it was like, and even the year before you had it where it was like next man up. Then after a while you're running out of the next man up. You know, so that was one thing too to look at. It was like next man up. Then all right. I think with Jack Campbell, the line back in core should be better. If Trace, yeah. Sorry, didn't mean to post that twice, but I definitely thank you for the comment. Uh, yeah, I think Jack Campbell. Damn, sorry about my mouth is going dry. I just hope I'm not losing my voice here. Uh, Definitely, I think that Jack Campbell brings a new dimension, a new form of leadership to the line linebacking core. Uh, it's something that he's definitely we brought in to shore up that linebackers. Uh, also you got Anzalone that's really picking up. So if he can go ahead and do good, uh, and like I was saying before, if Barnes can finally come into his own, you know, we really got jury is still out on him. Um, Dan Campbell did mention that he was looking good out there. Yeah, at the mini camp. But it's we gotta see more. We definitely gotta see more out of him in training camp and also real life. He needs to be he needs to make his presence felt as a linebacker in order to stay on this team. Uh, for sure. Uh, so, uh, the new breed. What brings out the maniac in you? I try to ask all my, what is it that that you love about sports so much, that you love about the Lions so much, that it's going to get you off your seat. I thought I had get that, get you out of your seats, out of the and stand, shouting in the stands, cheering your team on. What is it that you love about sport, love about football so much, or any sport? Now me, hey, wins. Anytime the Lions can win, anytime the Lions can show improvement, anytime any of my team wins, and also great run. I mean, one of the things that will get me shouting is run back from end zone to end zone. You go ahead, you go ahead and you kick that ball off, and the receiver or the returner goes ahead and runs it all the way down your throw. Of course, if if I'm rooting for the team that the throat's being, the touchdown is against, that brings out the maniac in me in the other way, because it's like, but as far as, I like to see those long run backs, kickoff returns for touchdowns. That's one of the things that I really, really like to see. Uh, yeah, welcome to Tim's Maniac Sports. I appreciate all viewers and all comments and questions. And this show might be a little shorter today. I'm not sure, but I'm just ready for football to start. I'm ready. I'm ready to see. Uh, I'm ready for the real training camp. I'm ready for football to go back into for the NFL to go back into the regular season. Um, in a perfect world, how many games would you like to see the NFL have per year? And also, in a perfect world, how would you like to see? How many teams do you think should make the playoffs? We were talking earlier, on the show, that we thought that the league could, you know, I would say, add 5 games to the season. I mean, but that's just me. Seriously, I would like to see them go to a 20-game season, and I would like to see them add 2 more spots per uh, per conference in the playoffs. So right now you got 7. I would like to see 9 seeds per conference in the playoffs. I know that would expand the playoffs more, but I just think that having 18 teams overall, or 18 teams overall in both. Yeah. Hey, welcome, Christian. Overall, or 18 teams overall in both. Hey, welcome, Christian.
Hi. Thank you.
How's it going this morning?
It's going good.
All right.
Hi. Thank you.
So, Tristan, I heard you want a 50-game season.
Going good. Hi. Thank you.
So, Tristan, I heard you want a 50-game season.
Going good. The what?
I was just joking with you, man. I said I heard you wanted.
My computer's behind, so I might have to get my phone out.
Yeah.
The what?
Yeah, I can see that. I can hear that. Yeah.
My computer's behind, so I might have to get my phone out.
Yeah.
So what?
I can see that. I can hear that.
My computer's behind. Yeah, I'm messing with settings right now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to. Oh, come on, let me. All right, let me jump on my phone and I'll be right back.
All right. All right. Sorry about the technical difficulties. And of course, we know we all got a delay in the system, but yeah, that was really bad. Thanks for popping. He will come back on a little bit later if he can get on, get onto his phone. And of course, my phone call that was, but yeah, I had to give him about a 50 game season. That would be too much for me too. I mean, I think 50 games, uh, but I would like to seriously. I would like to see a 20 game season. Uh, it's just something I would really like to see. But it's yeah, and like I said, maybe they would need to add another bye, to each team if they have that. But we'll see. So, is there any player? Yeah, I mean, any other player do you think that the Lions should pick up? I hear Minnesota's Minnesota right now they're in kind of in full rebuilding mode. They're releasing players, uh, right and left. Uh, last year they made the playoffs, but they didn't do anything once they got in the playoffs. Basically, so it's like you know, uh, they were considered to be a bit ahead of us at the beginning of the season.
Is that better?
Yeah, it is much better. Much better.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good.
All right. So, what do you think a 50 game season would be like?
I think it would be interesting. I mean, like we were talking about earlier, it would be harder on the players, but it would be kind of interesting to see.
A 50 game season, you would need two complete teams, actually, at least. If you had a 50 game season, 20 game season, yeah, add a few more players.
Yeah.
I just had to joke around with you about the 50 game season. I mean, it would be something. I mean, shoot, you need a you would need to forget about the IR, and what you would need to do is you would need to just go ahead and get a recovery home for them, and have a mandatory like after 8 games you got to go ahead and go into the center every so often and just get get to go ahead and get these treatment, because shoot, all those all those all those pylons coming at you and shoot. All right, just having a little bit of fun here. But,
yeah. Hey, it's what the show's for.
Yeah, it is. Yep. You know what when you're in the polyp, you know what the worst position is?
No, I don't actually.
When you're at the very bottom.
That's horrible.
Yeah, when you're at the very bottom, I have heard stories. All right, luckily I've never been there, but I have heard stories where there's so much fighting for that ball that goes on that it may change positions 10 times by the time they pull all the players off the ball. But there's people scratching. I mean, you have all the weight of all those darn players that are on you, number one, but they're not just on you, just laying down. They're trying to get their team that ball. So, they're punching. They're punching at the ball, and sometimes they miss that ball. They might punch you, grabbing, digging, and trying to. So the further you are to that bottom, the further you are, the more pain you may encounter.
Right. Yeah.
For sure. So that's definitely. Yeah. Could you ever imagine though if a ref got got involved in that? Oh God. I mean, what I mean by involved in that, yeah. Some of the refs may deserve this, okay? But if a ref goes ahead, he's going to do his job, and then all of a sudden all these darn players jump on him from both teams.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you that little ref would have a different respect for the sport that he screws over all the time.
Yep. Exactly.
Okay.
Maybe he'd give us more respect.
Yeah, maybe. But more than likely, he would go ahead and take it out on the Lions.
Yeah. Like usual.
Yep, like usual. Yep. I mean, we all know that the policemen of the NFL are the most upstanding citizens around, and you can always trust their judgment. And I lie a lot, okay?
Yeah.
In other words, I just lied about that whole thing because they're not the most trustworthy guys. They're not. No. Oh,
zebras. We call the refs zebras.
Yep. Well, I liked it when the eyeglass commercials went ahead and offered them free. Hello, welcome to the stream. How you doing?
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good.
We're doing good. We're doing good. All right. Wow. So did you have a great weekend?
Oh yeah. My weekend was good. Just celebrated a birthday this past Friday, so it was pretty good. I was kind of watching the Panthers. I was a little disappointed with that, but I mean, hey, I'm gonna still show my support.
Oh yeah. The Panthers have been.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for them to go ahead and be the Panthers of the 1980s.
Right. Right.
One thing that was really when I was at that Panthers game, the one thing that was really different there is because of Detroit Lions on the prowl. Whenever they say Panthers on the prowl, that just really kept on bringing back the old, remind me of Detroit Lions on the prowl. Okay, so give us your argument on air as far as for getting Dalvin Cook and Anthony Hopkins.
Well, I think because we have so many injury issues, especially in those positions, I think that will work out. And plus, this will help the young players too. Especially with Dalvin Cook, you just drafted Gibbs, so that'll be good for Gibbs. That'll be a good leadership for him. And Dalvin Cook has playoff experience. So that can work with these young guys. And then with Hopkins, he's done a lot in this league. So he can, whatever knowledge he has, he can give that to St. Brown and all these other guys too. So I think it can work wonders. And plus, with Hopkins, with J-Mo out for 6 games, that'll really help them as well. So
True.
I think it help.
Okay. What's your thoughts on that, Tristan?
I pretty much agree with him, I think, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, those are definitely valid points. I cannot argue with you there at all, because you need that leadership. Now, as far as the remarriage of the Lions and Calvin Johnson, now Calvin Johnson said that he's going to mentor, trying to really mentor Jamal himself. So, if anybody can take that guy and get his focus onto football, that would be great. Now, I did read that he did not. Well, the latest I read, he did not bet on that college team in the facilities, as far in the Ford facilities.
Mm-hmm.
But he betted when he was on a road trip with the Lions. So that's now, to me, I think that suspension was too harsh.
Oh yeah,
he should have been suspended. I agree, because he did break the rules. But I do think that 6 games, 2/3 of the season is too harsh, for the offense, especially when it was not on football at all. It was nothing that he could control the outcome, because people have did a lot worse.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
Now, so what? Okay, I had somebody at work say, brought up, and we all know that sometimes the Lions, people say the NFL is against the Lions. Okay, but in this instance, I don't think he is, and this is totally not the J-Mo thing. Okay, do you think that the Lions were awarded the and in the way that I'm saying this, it's kind of telling my views. All right, do you think that the Lions being awarded opening game against the Chiefs, do you think that was a ditch to the Lions or actually a respect to the Lions by the NFL? J-Mo, I'm sorry, I forgot your first name.
Oh, Steve.
Steve. Yeah, Steve. Yeah. Give me your thoughts on that.
I think it's a good thing for the Lions because it just shows the expectations and it shows respect that they have for them. I think with them having a tough schedule to start, it's going to show what kind of team this is, and it's going to show the depth. So I think it's a good thing that fortunately it is the Chiefs, but if people can remember the last time they played the Chiefs, they almost beat them.
Mm-hmm.
So they know how to pressure Mahomes.
Right.
And so I think this is a good thing, but yeah, with them start with the Chiefs and then Seattle, they're gonna have a tough schedule, but I just hope the expectations is not gonna be too high for this team that it might be just too much for them. That's what I'm worried about. And then of course injuries. I'm very worried about the injuries with with this team because they over the past couple of years they had a lot of injuries. But I think the season with them starting with the Chiefs, I think it's a good thing because we get to really see, and then it's prime time, so it's a lot more. They got a few more prime time games, so a lot of people can see how this team is. I know normally our only prime time game was Thanksgiving. That's the only time people can see us. But now we got a lot more games. So, and then also we facing a lot of teams that are that we don't know how the teams are, even in our division. So it's going to be tough. But I think it's a good thing that they start off in Kansas City in prime time, just to see how this team is. And I'm excited for this defense. I think our safety position is deep.
Oh yeah,
it's very deep.
Yep.
So
okay, so we'll get Tristan. What do you think now?
Yeah, I think it's respect for the Lions as well. I mean, for like the primetime thing, I think it's respect because we need to like beat the Chiefs, Yeah. And it's the first game, and we have a tough schedule, like he was saying.
Oh yeah. Well, now I totally agree. I think it was a sign of respect. It was a show of respect by the league for what we did last year. It was. I mean, this is not only a primetime game; it's the opening day of the whole NFL season. So they gave us. People are hungry for football right now. And they gave us the premier primetime game, in my opinion. So you don't do that out of disrespect. They and one of the reasons I think they gave it to the Lions is they know that the Lions are the type of team that can give them a game. It's not going to be a boring game. It's not going to be a game where they go ahead and they trounce all over the Lions. The Lions are going to give this team are going to give the viewing audience a great show, and it's going to show that even if the Lions do fall short, I mean, we all hope the Lions can go ahead and kick the Chiefs spot, but I just think that it's showing the respect to the organization that they really feel the Lions can give the Chiefs a good game on opening day of the whole NFL season. So that's great. I mean, last year everybody was complaining we didn't get one darn primetime game other than Thanksgiving. Well, now they gave us 5, so including Thanksgiving. All right. Yep. Okay, Brian Stouffer. Good thought. It's after the Chiefs game. We have a mini bye for the second game. Yeah, because you got that real long, and it gives us a longer time to heal. So that's definitely a great point there.
Yeah, we're off that Sunday.
And plus, I gotta say this too. It'll be good to beat the Chiefs on their ring ceremony day too during that game.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be good for them to beat them on that day too. So that'll just add to everything.
Yep. And now one of the things that I think the keys to beating the Chiefs, is like, keeping that pressure. Of course, keeping the pressure on Mahomes. I mean, we got to definitely control his running game. Our cornerbacks are really going to need to, shut down his pass for sure. But if we can, we also got to keep the foot on the pedal because, and I know I said this before, this is nothing new, is that you cannot, especially with the Chiefs, you cannot go ahead no no high score is too high. No lead is too strong. You got to go ahead, no matter how much ahead of if you're ahead of the Chiefs by 2 touchdowns or even three touchdowns, they can come back. So you just got to keep on scoring, scoring, and scoring. You can never take your foot off the pedal.
We
What's
need
your
to
guy?
score every chance we get.
Mm-hmm.
And also too, even if we don't score, just control the time of possession.
Yeah.
That's the big thing. You got to control the time of possession,
The defense needs
especially
to stop them.
because the Chiefs can score in like 13, 20 seconds. So,
Oh yeah. That's
that's
for sure.
that's huge. That's huge. So we got to control the time of possession. It's huge. With not only just with the Chiefs, but with any team.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Oh
key.
yeah. Yep. Yeah. Control that time of possession, and of course, the way we do that is by having a successful running game.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot go 3 and out. That's for sure. You got to, yeah, you got to get
Absolutely.
those first downs, and yeah, because the last the last time that ball is in Patrick Mahomes and company's hand, it's just we've seen it all year from them, and we've seen them. I mean, even a year before, where they didn't make the playoffs or didn't make the Super Bowl the year before, but you've seen those classic matchups where Josh Allen was having a shootout with Mahomes, and at that time it was basically the last person with the ball, the last team with the ball was able to win, and that was how they beat the Bills, and actually that was how the Joe Burrow's team, the Cincinnati, beat them. And of course that's 2 years ago. But it was like you had it was like the last man with the ball went ahead and won. So keep that ball out of the Chiefs' hands. We need to win
Absolutely.
the battle of time of possession for sure. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely.
So, what did you like most about training camp? Did you see much of it, or?
Yeah, I saw a little bit of it. I like, Gibbs was did his thing, and I'm more intrigued on just the rookies, and also also Tracy Walker too. I'm eager to see how he's going to be, with the bounce back of him being injured. So
Right.
I think I'm more intrigued on that because I plan on going to some training camps in August when they started with the public. So I do plan on going to those, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm intrigued by just the rookie and seeing how they gel with the NFL and the workouts and everything. So and this is different because this is not Hard Knocks is not here this season, so it's gonna be interesting to see without the big cameras on how this team is and and everything. So it's gonna be very interesting. I think I'm really excited about this training camp and what I've seen has been nice. It's
Mm-hmm.
been nice. So I'm intrigued by it.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I mean I've heard a lot of good things, like you say about Gibbs, and also, from what I heard about Iffy, and also Derek Barnes, you know. Of course we want to see some more camaraderie between JMO and Golf. That's one
Right.
thing that we want to see. Yep. And what about you, Tristan?
I haven't seen much of it, but it seemed like it was going pretty well. Seems
Mm-hmm.
like they're improving,
Right.
and that's pretty much it. I mean, they're heading in the right direction.
Okay. Pretend there's no salary cap, all right? And you could get any current player. And I know this is an off the cuff, uh, off the cuff question. So, I mean, you guys may think of somebody better later on, but just right off the head, who would you bring in that you think would help the Lions best, defensive player and offensive player? What if you had no salary cap issues and you could pick somebody off a team that's currently signed, who would you bring in to stabilize the Lions? We'll go with offense and defense. Steve?
Oh, that's easy for me.
Okay.
Defense, Quentin Williams from the
Okay.
Jets.
All right.
If we had him, man, our defense would be way better with him and Hutch. Oh man, how destructive he is. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Sue. How Sue was here.
All right, yeah.
That'll be something for me with defense. Offense, oh man. Wow. That is a tough one. I would probably say, wow. That's gonna be tough. Wow. I would probably say I would, even though he signed, I would like somebody like a Nick Chubb.
Okay.
Nick Chubb. I think he would be somebody that would be perfect for this team. A nice, just control runner, runs hard, and good in the backfield. So somebody like him, I think I would like.
All right. That's fair. And I actually said you could pick anybody off the team. So
yeah.
All right. Okay, Tristan, your turn.
I mean, I like Marvin Jones. Okay. Or like Dominic Sue Hutchinson.
Okay. All right.
Those are who
but this is somebody on another team. Who do you think?
I know so.
Some of the Lions don't got yet.
That's something I'd have to think about.
Okay. So you'll pass on that
part now. Yeah, because that would take a minute for me to think.
That would take a minute. Okay.
So, you know what? I'm a other than I would say Nick Chubb. Mm-hmm. Another guy I would really like on this team is Jonathan Taylor.
Oh yeah.
I would love Jonathan Taylor to come here. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's the kind of runner we need.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Okay, I'm gonna go for okay. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna go somebody who I would like to see come here. I want to see Josh Allen come here. Yeah, I just think that I know I'm not trying to disrespect our quarterback. Goff. I'm not trying to disrespect Goff, but it's like you need all those parts around them. I think that what Josh Allen could do with this team, and what the team could do with Josh Allen. I just think that he's that quarterback that could put us over the top and win the Super Bowl. So Josh Allen, definitely. Goff, don't hate me, please. You notice I didn't say Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
I just think that Josh Allen being younger, and so that's offense. Now I need to think of somebody really, really. Defense. Wow. Oh gosh. All right. I'm gonna say a young and healthy Ndamukong Suh. If he was young and healthy, I mean, I know we had him with the Lions when he was young and healthy, but I think with the team that we got now, I think that it would show him, but of course with his knowledge that he got of the ball now, I think that Suh would go ahead and just really really bring that other side of, just close up that other side. Like, you got Aiden Hutchinson on one side, and then you got Suh on the other side, and that he would just go ahead and blast that quarterback, and that offense just blast right through him. So that's what I would say.
Okay. I'll roll with it.
Yeah. Of course, hopefully he wouldn't get all the penalties he did back then.
I think, and plus, I know I'm gonna name a couple more guys too.
Mm-hmm.
One, I would say I would love to have somebody like a Micah Parsons.
Okay, yeah.
And another guy I would say too, and I think he has some Calvin Johnson qualities if he's serious, but I think he would be good for this team, is DK Metcalf.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm,
just to have that deep threat and using his size especially in the end zone, kind of like how we use with Calvin. I think we could do the same thing with DK Metcalf.
Oh, most definitely. Yeah, his size. Yeah, you basically just toss it up in his vicinity, and he hauls that in.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of Calvin Johnson. There's no argument there. That was one of the reasons Stafford was, that made Stafford better, because he had Calvin Johnson there. He could just toss it up in anywhere in his vicinity, and he would haul that in. And he could handle that hard, because one thing about Matthew Stafford is he threw the ball so damn hard.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would definitely, DK, definitely, man. All that in.
Oh man, to have him and St. Brown and Marvin Jones. Oh man, that would be
a dream team.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. That will be a dream team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yep. Oh wow. Yep. Exactly. That
was. So let me ask you guys something. Let me ask you guys a question.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is who you guys think is going to be a surprise team in NFL? Who you think is going to be the disappointing team?
Okay.
I know I'm making y'all think. I know.
Well, I'll tell you what. As far as a disappointing team, I think that the Jets are going to be a disappointing team. I think they are relying too much on an old, broken down quarterback. That's my honest opinion of Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had his day. He's more fallen by the wayside, kind of like Tom Brady did. So I think that's going to be a disappointing team. I other than Lions being a surprise team, I think the Rams may come back up, because Cooper Cup and also Stafford come being healthy. I think they'll surprise people again. I don't think they're going to win it all, but I think they'll be a much better team than they were last year, as long as those two can stay healthy.
I think I like Tim's idea for that one. I mean, Rodgers has been not doing well, so I figured that would probably be the best team to pick for disappointing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's your surprise team?
Us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's good, but the surprise is a little bit out of the bag there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But okay, go ahead.
I think for disappointing team, I probably will have to go with the Denver Broncos.
Okay, I can see that.
I even though they have a new coach, I still don't have any like. I think they're going to be the same kind of team they were last year. Mm-hmm. I just think injuries is going to catch up to them. I don't know what Russell Wilson's going to do, and then his defense. I just don't know how they're going to be. It's a question mark, and plus they're in the hardest division in the league.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be tough for them, very tough. Surprise team, even though this team was in the playoffs last year, but I think they're going to get better. I think it's going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Okay.
I think they're going to be better than they were. I think if they can, if ETN can stay healthy, I think this team it can be dangerous. I think they can be very dangerous, and their defense is going to get better as well. So, I think that. But then another surprise team, I will say too, could be, and you guys might not believe me because we're in the same division, is the Chicago Bears.
You know what? I can see that because they're a scary. They were a scary team last year.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't win a lot, but they did start out good. But it's just you don't win. They've been building too, as far as for they added some components now, and you got Justin Fields who he can run. And if he has gotten some people he could throw to, oh my God, yeah, he definitely could be.
Yeah. I think if they can get an offensive line,
mm-hmm.
they could get better because that offensive line, it collapses. It collapses more than a building. It does. It collapses. And as much as I want to see an Ohio State quarterback get knocked down a lot, but I just felt bad for Fields because he gets sacked too many times and he has to run for his life, literally.
Oh yeah.
So, but I like his receiving core with Money Man Mooney and Claypool and St. Brown's brother. And they just have a lot of nice pieces. And they got a nice defense, too. So I think if they can stay healthy and that offensive line will get better, I think they can be a surprise team. I think people I think that's a team that you just cannot take lightly. I think they can surprise some people for sure.
Yeah. And plus their owner is no longer in the division, and what I mean by owner is, of course, Aaron Rodgers used to say they own them, so he's no longer in the division. So Um, that gives them a chance of a couple more wins over there too.
Well, I'm gonna say this too. Don't count out Jordan Love.
Oh no!
Don't do that because they gotta. I like Dobbs and I like Christian Watson. I really like Christian Watson.
Mm-hmm.
I think he can definitely do some things for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And I think we can't take them like they may surprise too. So, people were saying the same thing when Favre left and it was Aaron Rodgers. And hey, look what happened with that. So you just never know when it comes to this Green Bay Packers team. You just never know. They got some diamonds in the rough.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mhm.
They did not bring in Love for no reason. You're right.
Right.
They've always been a team they have their next quarterback before they get rid of their own one. Yeah, and that's like you say with Favre. I mean, we have seen Jordan Love. He's also running quarterback, which has given the Lions issues like crazy. So and the worst thing you can do is underestimate your opponent.
Absolutely.
Because they just and we've seen, unfortunately, being a Lions fan, we have seen it way too much when they come in and they'll beat a great team, and then you think, oh my God, now they can relax, and they relax, and it just.
Yeah, and that happened a couple of times last year, especially the Carolina game and the Patriot game. That happened too much. We took them too lightly.
Yeah.
Way too lightly.
Right. And I think with the Patriot game, not only did we take them lightly, I think Brad Holmes played right into Belichick's hands. He just went ahead and he got, he seen Belichick as this football god, for lack of better terms, and he went ahead and did his own way. You gotta keep it close. Instead, he did play his game against the Patriots. He went ahead and played Belichick's game, and it cost them bad. So yeah. And another one, like you said, the Carolina Panthers. Everybody thought because they were the week before the Carolina Panthers, they got trounced the week before. Well, once the team gets trounced the week before, they're going to go ahead and try to save some face the next week. So what they do, they go ahead and they trounce the Lions.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
It happens. It's just we can't take any team lightly, especially people in our division. Like it's like I said with the Packers and the Bears. I almost forgot to mention the Bears have DJ Moore. So I keep forgetting about that. Like their wide receiver core is deep.
Yeah, they are. They are. Yeah.
They might have the best. I hate to say it, but I think they probably have the best wide receiver core in our division.
Mm-hmm. And if you and the Bears are a team that when they're playing somebody in their division, they play higher. They're not a team that plays, and unfortunately for some of the Lions in the past, we've been a team that will play lower if we're playing against the against a divisional opponent that we don't respect as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're going to, and then we were 5-1 in the division last year. So even though we should have been 6-0, we would have won in Minnesota, but that's a different story.
Yeah.
But I feel like this team, with the expectations they have, I think they're going to take these division games more seriously because they know how big it is, and then and how deep the NFC is. You have to,
right?
You have to win as many games as possible.
Oh yeah,
So you have to. You got to take every game seriously.
Oh, definitely. You definitely need to. because yeah, and right now even the NFC is wide open right now, and I mean, shoot, you every yeah, like you say, every game needs to be taken seriously. You cannot yeah, cannot underestimate anybody, even if it's the Denver Broncos. you know,
Right.
you can't.
Doesn't matter what team it is.
What was that, Tristan?
So it doesn't matter what team it is.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna need to wrap this up very soon because I gotta get ready for work. But okay, go ahead and give me your final thoughts. We'll start with you, Tristan, and you, Steve.
My final thoughts is that, like we were talking about, the team's improving. Just happy to be here with more people on the channel here, getting to meet more people and get their different opinions and views and all that type of stuff.
All right. All right, Steve.
Yeah. Well, first I want to say thank you guys for just for having me on, man. Even the short time that I've been on, man, I've had a blast just talking sports and everything. So I really appreciate it being on. And final thought, I would say too, with this team, I'm a Lions fan through thick and thin, and I want to see this team just succeed, even though through the tough times and the that we had over the years and a long time that we won. Last time we even won a championship, and for fans to still be here, and it's something to me. And then to see the passion of other Lion fans for this coming up season, it's just a wonderful thing. It's one of the best times. So I love it, and I'm wishing this team can do well. Dan Campbell has a good thing. The Lion organization, we can't say it's the same old Lions. They really want to do something. Mm-hmm. And this season in particular, to have the naysayers to say, this Lions team is too much hype. This is the season to prove everybody wrong, to say, and the people who say same old Lions, you could prove them wrong that this is not the same old Lions. And I think this team has the talent to do it. Young team going through adversity, especially the start of the season, but we're going to see what kind of team this is. So I got high hopes, and I have trust in this team and this organization and this coaching staff. So I can't wait, and we'll see what happens.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you. And once again, I want to thank both you guys for Steve and also Tristan for joining me. Hey, and of course, this don't need to be the only time. I, of course, will join you on your show anytime you invite me that we're on. But yeah, it's great. Culture is something that has been bad for so long in Detroit, and they've brought in so many different coaches, so many different general managers, even a couple of different owners due to people passing and retiring. But I think right now is the time when they have brought in and seriously decided to change a culture from being a culture that is stepped on, a culture that's go ahead and will accept defeat in any way they can find it. I think they have turned that around. And Brad Holmes, he may not always make the total best decision in our eyes, but as what we're seeing, them turning around and becoming, we got to trust in what he is doing. And I think that we have a lot of great things coming along, but we can never forget where we've been. We always got to learn from our mistakes, and also got to learn from our achievements too. We just got to go ahead and just keep going, keep getting better. And by what I mean by learning from our mistakes, as talking in this show before, we said we underestimated teams. We thought we had the victory before we actually have the victory. You got to follow through on each team. You gotta go ahead and do your work, and you gotta go ahead and never give up. And with that, enjoy your day, enjoy your night, and thank you guys.
And don't
Go
research.
Okay. Do your research. Okay. Mini Luke G. Tristan, yeah. Do your research. Okay. Catchphrase for Luke G. Yep, for sure. Don't be a chump. Do your research. All right. But thank you, everybody. This is Maniac Tim from Maniac Sports. You guys all have a good one.